Rabbi Isai continuing on in Shas.
Good morning.
I have Shas on my fingertips.
I just learned this briefly that's pretty cool.
Shin Sana.
Okay.
I don't.
We're doing
I don't
Yoma.
because I have a Band-Aid on.
Oh, what happened?
I was fishing. I went fishing with my family. My dad is a big fisherman. So we had a camp up in Sadie and he took all the grandkids fishing.
Oh, I know about this. Yeah.
But I had a bit more of a wilder kid, so he's like, you gotta come to be like, division head of his. So I came, and when I was reeling, I had one of the rods, the screw was digging into my finger, so I got a little blue.
Stitch?
But I got like five fish. I caught 5 fish. Sea bass, fluke.
5 fish, the plural is fishes.
Oh, fishies.
Fishies. Did you need stitches?
I don't think so. It wasn't. It got a little raw, but no
You have
stitches.
everything in your bathrooms. You have the towel for ready.
How's your between camp and school
Baruch Hashem.
shenanigans
Baruch
going?
Hashem. My kid came
You
home
don't
from
need
camp.
partitions in those bathrooms.
Are you doing?
No, we do it.
Going to Lancaster?
No.
You going to the Poconos?
No. It's not Chalmite, is it?
You're renting a place in Virginia Beach?
No. Staying home.
What? You're staying home?
Staying home.
Oy vey, are you okay?
Staying home. Sponsored by Twillery.
His wife's a designer.
Who's this?
Staying home.
Cone, giant cone.
Great. I didn't know you could stay home between.
Yeah, it's an option. It's an option.
Okay. So we are on Daf.
15.
Okay.
15A2 in the art scroll. What do we have here?
The
Quran?
Yeah, I have the Quran.
No, not the Quran. The Quran.
The Quran Gemara.
Yeah.
Some pictures.
The Gemara returns in
15A2,
Yoma.
you said?
Yeah.
Gotta find the equivalent over here. Okay. What does it start with?
Gufa. Gufa Balai.
Balai.
Yes.
Great.
The Gemara returns to elucidate an earlier section of Mishnah along with an accompanying Brisa. Gufa, the text itself stated, Balai Lekaren Mizrachis finest, the Kayin, selected to throw the dam of the Tamid offering, arrives at the northeast corner of the Mizbeach, Noisen Mizrachis finest, and standing at the foot of the Mizbeach, he throws blood from the offering on that northeast corner. He then circles the altar. You circle our parking spot. He's circling the Mizbeach. Me Aravis Duraimis Noisin Me Aravis Duraimis. And once he arrives at the southwest corner, that's where the airline is named for, he throws dam from the carbon upon that southwest corner. Visani Allah. And concerning the teaching of this Mishnah, it was taught in a brisa. Rabbi Shimon Ish HaMitzpah, Mishana B'Samid. Rabbi Shimon Ish HaMitzpah. I forgot what the HaMitzpah is, but his name is Rabbi Shimon Ish HaMitzpah. He says that he changes this procedure. It says alters this procedure, but not to be confused with alter.
Right.
One's an A, one's an E. With reference to the Tamid, he asserts that the dam application procedure of the Tamid differs from that of the standard Ola offering as follows. The Kayin arrives at the northeast corner of the Mizbeach and throws the dam on the northeast corner. But then as he approaches the southwest corner, Noisin Ma'arava, he places blood on the western wall of the altar. And just after rounding the southwest corner, he places blood on the southern wall of the altar.
So he doesn't actually do it on the corner. He does Wally.
Yeah, but also we didn't mention the western wall in the the Resha.
Right, because I guess the Tanakama, or the Rabbana, whoever it is, they just do corners. Northeast corner, southwest corner.
Yeah.
So opposite corners.
And now he says, I'll do northeast corner and the southwest corner, but in between we're going to get the western wall involved.
Got it. It's really... It's almost like Chinese to me. Like, what does it matter where you're sprinkling, how you're sprinkling? But I guess like the same way you're running like Lamates Malachas, that's a little bit more like applicable. Like you can't squeeze a sponge, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't squeeze, absorb sponge. But if it's nylon, then it's okay. Like
a real kaifer would ask, what does it make a difference?
Right. So we have to I'll tell you what it is. We're so far removed. At least me. I'm not a Kayan.
No, not a Kayan.
But
even a Kayan, if you said to a Kayan nowadays, okay, do this corner, that corner, in the back of his head, he's like, But there's a
Usually-
procedure. There's a manual.
There is. You can't
There's a
just
manual to.
decide you're driving a car and put water in the tank because it's cheaper, you know?
You can't
gotta
drive down the
follow.
wrong way on the highway.
Right.
Because disaster will strike at any moment.
So there's something about the southwestern corner, according to the Rabbanon, that the Isha Mitzvah would go, what? You're driving the wrong way.
No, the
That's-
western wall. Because
Right.
he does mention the southwest corner.
So you also have to do it. Yeah, I'd love to really understand the depths.
They both say
Otherwise-
northeast corner and southwest corner, but the Reb Shimon Ish HaMitzvah,
Wants additional sprinkles?
he wants additional sprinkles.
Okay. My daughter loves sprinkles.
Sprinkle, yeah.
And they're gluten free.
He has terrible, debilitating ADHD.
Okay.
So, oh, here. Ish HaMitzvah. I'm trying to remember where, when it first mentions Ish HaMitzvah,
Yeah, I think it said once it's like either just his name,
right? Or that's where he's from.
yeah, or maybe like mitzpeh means to see. Because was he a kohen and he saw it? I don't know. I feel like it says.
Okay, so the sage's prescription for the blood placements of the tamid, a type of oila, is the same as that for standard oila, right? The northwest and the northeast and the southwest, whatever we just described from the reish in the Tanakama, Chachamim, is the same as a standard oila. Reb Shimon Ish HaMitzvah, however, prescribes a new kind of blood application procedure
Oh, here we
for the tamid, and the Gemara now seeks to clarify the basis for his view.
go. Okay.
The Gemara's ensuing discussion presumes a familiarity with the various blood services of different offerings. These can be summarized as follows. Concerning the majority of karbanos whose blood is applied to the altar, such as the Oila, Asham, Toida, Shlamim, the Torah prescribes that initially the blood should be thrown from a vessel twice, each time the lower half of one of two opposing corners of the altar, the northeast and the southwest. As the blood is dashed on each of these corners, it spreads out to the adjacent sides, like the opening of a television show, so that by virtue of the two applications, the blood falls on all four walls of the altar. This throwing of the blood is known as Shtei Matana Shein Arba, two applications that are tantamount to four. It is this procedure that the Chachamim prescribe for the daily communal tamid offerings, for indeed this offering is characterized by the Torah as an oila. For another type of offering, the chatas, the kohen is initially required to make 4 separate applications of blood. He must daub the blood with his fingers upon each of the 4 horns protruding from the upper corners of the altar. Thus, while in the case of an ola, the blood is thrown twice using a vessel to the lower portion of the altar, the blood of the chatas is applied in 4 separate placements by the finger to the upper portion of the altar. Reb Shimon Ish HaMitzvah seems to prescribe a sort of hybrid service for the daily tamid. While the first application to the northeast corner is performed exactly as would be done in the case of an ola standing on the ground, the application to the southwest corner has a complex quality. The kohen applies the blood to the lower half of the altar, as would be expected for an oila, but does so in 2 separate placements, to the southern and western walls of the altar, just adjacent to the southwest corner. The Gemara now seeks to understand why Reb Shimon requires this otherwise unprecedented kind of application, where he's touching the 2 walls, south and the west, and then it comes in. Where's this coming from? It's not the oilin, it's not the tamid. What is
Unprecedented.
unprecedented?
We're living in unprecedented times. So are they.
Yes, this is not presidential. This is not precedential. My time, Reb Shimon Ish HaMitzvah. What is the reasoning of this Reb Shimon Ish HaMitzvah, who's did not found mitzpri in Geula? The Gemara responds, hello, Gemara. Amar Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Chad Devei Rabbi Yanai. Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of one of the members of the Academy of Rabbi Yanai, Amar Kra, in connection with the additional karbanos offered on Rosh Chodesh, a pasuk states, and 1 he-goat for a chatas offering to Hashem, in addition to the continual oila offering, the oila satamid shall it be made, and its wine libation. Oilahi, now the tamid is most certainly an oila offering. Yet in this pasuk, the Torah states that the kohen shall also perform the procedure of a chatas connection with it. Haketzad. How is this done? How could the offering be treated both as an oila and a chatas? Noisen achas shishtayim. First, the kohen performs one application of blood that is tantamount to two. B'mais kemaisa oila, in a manner one would expect for an oila offering. Shtayim shein shtayim. And then, when the kohen reaches the diagonally opposite corner of the altar, he performs two blood applications that are two genuinely separate applications, kemaisa chatas, in the manner resembling the blood service of a chatas. This then is how Reb Shimon Ish HaMitzpah arrives at his position regarding the blood service of the Tamid. Right, the pasuk could have admitted the words in addition to the continual oila offering, and the passage would have remained intact. So the Gemara had to explain these words to convey an additional law. So when it comes to Reish Chodesh, the pasuk has extra words. The fact that it has extra words goes to show that there's something extra upon which we should be doing. When the pasuk states that a chata shall be offered in addition to the tamid, these words can also be read as saying that the chata shall be performed upon the tamid. Elements of the chata service are to be overlaid upon the normal oila procedures of the tamid. It is in this sense that the Gemara expounds the phrase.
So it's here is that echel chatas al oilas hatamid. That it's on that, right? The al oilas hatamid is a weird.
But it's saying this by Rosh Chodesh. How does that apply to Yom Kippur?
Hold on a second. Are we talking about every chatas or oila?
It's for a daily tamid.
This is for the tamid. So it's talking about the tamid.
Yeah, Reb Shimon Ish HaMitzpah seems to prescribe a sort of hybrid service for the daily tamid.
Oh, so it's daily, right? We just happen to be talking about, because I think we're in the sugya of karbanos right now, or Isha Mitzvah. We just brought him, so now maybe we're bringing in things where he argues.
So I don't think it's just Yom Kippur. I think
so
he's
we're
talking
showing
about
that the
in
tamid
general.
is combining chatas and oila. How do you do that? This is what he prescribes, right?
Yeah, it is the procedure that the sages prescribe for the daily communal tamid offering, for indeed this offering is characterized by the Torah as an oila. So according to the Chachamim, the tamid is like the oila. Comes along Ish HaMitzpah, Shimon Ish HaMitzpah, and he says, wait a second, very nice, the tamid is just like an oila, but there are some extra words. The pasuk states that a chatas shall be offered in addition to the tamid. What are you going to do with the fact that there's some extra words as it relates to the chatas? Oh, okay, there's a hybrid approach in which you resemble a chatas procedure on two adjacent walls. And for the Gemara suggests, Viter in the Gemara suggests an alternative way of reconciling the conflicting demands of the pasuk. Litim shtayim shein arba, but why do you say that half the blood service should resemble an oila and half resemble a chatas? Let the kohen instead perform two applications that are tantamount to four, splashing the blood against two diagonally opposite corners of the altar, kemaisa oila, in the full manner prescribed for an oila offering, for abba shein arba, and then let him perform four applications that are in fact four separate ones, placing blood with his fingers upon each of the four horns of the altar, kemaisa chatas, in the full manner prescribed for the chatas.
Right, beauty.
It would seem preferable to carry out the complete procedure for an oila offering, followed by a second set of applications, which conform entirely to the procedure for a chatas. In this way, the tamid would truly have the qualities of both offerings.
Instead of like half-assing it, I forget what that term is. Oh wait, is it? There's no H there? That's a silent H?
I don't think there's an H.
Oh, okay. Sorry, viewers. So instead
I could be wrong.
oiling it, half-chatzing it, do the full of each, and that's a true hybrid.
Why? What's the oila is what initially?
Just the corners that go to, that's like four. And the chatzis is just each wall, right? Just, I guess, the four walls.
And then it comes together.
So now, again, the whole point of the corner is because if anything that's on a corner is gonna split onto the walls.
Right.
So what really is needed is the walls. 4 walls. So it doesn't have to come together. It's 4 walls if you put it on each wall. But if you're just doing 2 sprinkles, you could actually get all 4 walls because each corner is going to split into that. So here, good question.
So now he wants to say initially do what the oila is, where you throw it against
Two corners.
the two corners,
And it splits into
and it
four.
splits, and then after that, do on each 4 walls. So you're doing both.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And for the Gemara, loy matzinu damim shemechaperin mechayzim mechaperin. In all of the sacrificial law, we never find a situation where blood provides atonement and then repeats and provides atonement a second time. Rather, once a kohen has performed all the blood applications typical for that offering, which is the oila, the blood service has been completed and no further application is performed at all. But for that matter, do we ever find the kind of blood service suggested by Shimon and Mitzvah, one where half of it is like Chadas and half of it is like Naila? Certainly, this too is unprecedented. Ella al karchan hekshinun hekishan hakas. Rather, we are forced to assert that since the pasuk compared the tamid with a chatas, the tamid is an exception to the general rule and bears similarity to both a naila and a chatas. Here too, then, let us argue that the tamid is exceptional, that it requires the full blood service of both an naila and a chatas, since after all, we are forced to say that the pasuk compares the tamid with a chatas. Dismisses this suggestion. Hasan pisuk matanis ba'almihi. There, as regard the procedure actually set forth by Shimon and Mitzvah, all that is involved is a mere separation of one of the blood applications into 2. Indeed, this is but a slight deviation from the standard oila service. The proposal you have suggested, though, involves the addition of a full set of blood applications that are fundamentally alien to an oila and is therefore rejected. So we just wanted to ask, you're saying that we never find a situation. You wanted him to do everything just how it is. We say, what? We never find such a situation. Yeah, but we never find half C's either.
Right. So the answer is not really half C's.
So then, hold on. Then we said, so if that's the case, then over here, say that you should do the full and full if we never find half C's. And he says, no, it's not really half C's. It's just a mere separation. The only difference between the tamid blood offering and that of a standard oil is that the second application of the blood to the altar is split into 2. Instead of the blood being dashed against the altar's corner, it's applied in 2 separate placements. In other respects, however, the blood service of tamid is exactly the same as that of an oila. So really, it's very similar, but it's just a mere separation. Instead of putting it on the corner, you're just doing 2 separate. So it's not like a big deviation. Okay, we'll have to stop here.
Yeah.
But we're on the bottom of 15A4.
We got to Lemetina, right? You did that.
We are we're up to B'neisav Achashish Tayim.
Shkaya.
Have a great day.
If you want, there's a small picture. Try to zoom it in here. It shows you where you can sprinkle. See that? See, there's a sprinkle. That's the top corner.
Oh, I thought it was on the top.
That's a corner. I know. I also.
Oh, you're walking around.
You have to literally walk around. Remember, it's massive. This thing.
Yeah.
So here, see this either.
I thought you were on the top.
One side, or that's the one that you just throw on the corner and then it.
Oh, it's the exterior corner. I thought it was like an inside corner and the wall was like that.
And that's the top corner. That's when we talked about like one of them that's on the top and that one's on the lower half. And there's one at the lower half, one on the top corner by the horn.
Should we color it red?
Bye.
How Yosef, Barman?